Hey YouTube, this is just a short update on a project that I put off for way too long. It's a aluminum melting furnace, but it's electric. There's not many examples of electric on YouTube, and thanks to one member of YouTube, Joe Hacobian, who also did this, I believe I've followed most of his instructions in building this aluminum furnace, which is basically made up of two stovetop burners, which I will run in parallel, and it should give me 2,000 watts of power. What you're looking at is a mixture of furnace cement and perlite, which will be the insulation and the structure. See if I can do this one-handed, probably not. But it's not fully dried, but in the middle it has a stainless crucible, and the form was made around that. I separated, as per Joe Hacobian's instructions, separated the perlite into different sizes with the finer perlite mixed 1-to-1 on the inside for strength, and then moving outward to 3-to-1, 3 perlite to 1 furnace cement on the outside to give more, just to make it stretch more but still be insulated. Let me put the camera down for a second and see if I can flip this thing over. Okay, here you can see I made a form around the stainless steel. It's like a, for flour, I guess, or sugar or things like that, meal canister, and I put cordboard around that, and then made the form. You can see the two kinds of, or two consistencies of the furnace cement and perlite. You can also see I got a little offset where it was upside down. I didn't know exactly where I was, so I made a lot more on one side than the other. But the burners are wrapped around this, and I also used rebar tie wire. Here's a little end of a piece that you can see, and you can also see that it's not fully cured yet, but I'm finally getting around to this, and I just wanted to post an update video while it's drying and curing. I will allow this to cure very well so that it's dried out before turning the burner on. I don't have a timer yet. I plan on getting one so that if for some reason I forgot about it, it would turn off. It wouldn't just go on by itself. And one other thought I had was using the knob from the stovetop, to adjust how much power is going through these elements. That way I could turn it on slowly and also adjust how much heat is in the aluminum. But like I said, it's just an update, and I am making progress on it, and hopefully I will be melting aluminum in the not too distant future. I already have a bunch of scrap piled up, and I'm anxious to start getting on that. And also I plan to try my hand at making a gingery lathe with the aluminum. So that should be interesting and make for good videos. Just while it's where it's sitting is on another project I just more or less completed. It needs paint. Let me back up. I made a homemade shop press just because I had the scrap metal, and I had this bottle jack, which is a 12-ton, and it was from a pipe bender I have, and I thought I would use a press more than a pipe bender. I can always switch it back, take it out, but I basically have about $10 into this press. The steel I had a long time ago. It has been many different things. The 3x3 box steel has been truck and Jeep bumpers. It's been just temporary bumpers to move vehicles around, to attach a tow bar. the top and bottom is rail. Well, you can't see the bottom for all the mess, but it's rail car rail from coal mines. It's not as big as the railroad rail, but it's similar in design. And I have one more piece I'm going to make a homemade anvil out of, but you can see it's plenty strong. And the angle iron here is for guides to allow it to go up and down. You got the return springs. I'm not sure what this part is, but my friend found it and gave it to me. It's 1 3/8 thread here, and it's solid, and he found it alongside the road, so I just welded that onto some 2 pieces of 2x2 box steel. And what this allows me to do, though, is make various attachments. So far I've only made this one here, but this is 1 1/4 plumbing pipe, black pipe, and it's just snug. I needed to ream through it with a 1 3/8 drill bit, and even then it is just barely tight enough to thread on so that the piece won't fall off. And what I have here is just a plate welded on the bottom, and a what is this, 3/8 drive end for sockets. Any of you all who have used a press know that you can do a lot of different things with sockets. You can press out U-joints and seals and bearings and different things. And this is another thing I saw on the internet. They used it to bend metal as a brake, just as a temporary one. And I've already tried it just by putting this just up against this and pushing down, but it basically pushes the metal in between there. I tried it with a very small piece of 1/8 inch steel, but just it presses down in there and presses in between. I plan to get another piece of that the pipe and weld this to it, so that I'll have a solid mount that I can do more controlled pressing. And by the way, this right here is older 70s model 4-wheel drive truck axles. Apparently they're a dime a dozen around here, and it's a good source for roughly 1 1/4 solid steel. I've used those as the adjusting pins down here to adjust the height for where you place your work into the press. And also I made a vise stand, but it's adjustable. It's a 1-ton Danish 60 rear axle hub and drum with the axle shaft bolted to it, and I shortened it. There you can see where I cut it and re-welded it. And the nice thing about this is that down here, I don't know if you can see with the light, but I took the spider gears, or the side gears, and welded it to my plate here, and that's not attached. It's just sitting on the splines of the axle shaft, so I can remove that. Right now I have a vise on there, and like I said, I'm going to use that railroad rail and make an anvil, and I can weld another side gear on the bottom of that and change it out and put different tools or different things on this one stand. I could even do it with a grinder stand and just make it different kinds of stands. I think that's about it as far as different projects that I've made here recently. But I mainly wanted to just update on the electric furnace. Like I said, there's not too many people doing this style, and I'm anxious to see whether it'll work or not. And I also haven't seen anyone do an actual melt of aluminum, so maybe I'll be the first one to do that. But anyway, I'll keep you all updated, and thanks for watching.